Your fear of AI taking over the world is about to get real in this one. In a world where AI robots are becoming common with every passing day, it is not a surprise that we get to see one of the robots becoming a terrorist. Developed by Val Shepard as a helper for Earth, Harlan was raised alongside Val's 10-year-old daughter, Atlas, but soon became a terrorist and caused a mass genocide. An international coalition of nations, ICN, was established and worked to counter AI terrorism. Their efforts paid off soon, but Harlan fled the world with the message that he would be back to finish what he started. Fast forward to 28 years later, the ICN forces fight against one of Harlan's bots, Casca, and manage to take it down. Atlas is now a counter-terrorism analyst and gets to know from TV that Casca has been caught. She gets ready immediately to leave for the ICN base. Officer Elias Banks is not in favor of having Atlas interrogate Casca, but Booth doesn't care about her hostility. He knows that she's the only one who can get information about Harlan from Casca. As Atlas goes for interrogation, Casca's head is in a suitcase, but he recognizes her well. She tries to map his mind and track him after resetting his system by asking random questions. Casca is confident, but Atlas tricks her by confusing him that she got the information. This makes Casca track to see if she knows, and that is exactly how Atlas traces where the information is. Harlan is on planet GR39, Andromeda Galaxy. Before leaving, she kills Casca, contrary to his statement that he won't die. Atlas wants to go and make sure Harlan dies, but Booth wants him alive since they need his CPU. Atlas considers this a death mission and doesn't react well to Colonel Elias Banks' statements, who is the leader of the mission. Elias takes her to show her how ready they are. She isn't surprised by the ARC suits, but is shocked to see they are using neural links to sync minds with the AR suits in two-way communication. This is exactly what made Harlan a terrorist, but Elias considers this the only upper hand against Harlan. Atlas tells Booth that she needs to be on the mission since she knows Harlan the most. Elias agrees to this statement, making her tag along. The ICN Deeb is the ship that passes the Earth's protection barrier by using two codes. Atlas warns all the officers of getting their computer programs and links hacked, but they all laugh off at her underestimation of their skills. Even Elias reminds her that they are well prepared, not giving heed to her warnings that there is always an unexpected trap when it comes to dealing with Harlan. While sitting in Zoe, Elias is telling her he is better than she thinks, but midway, Deeb is attacked. As everyone prepares for safety in combat, Atlas is picked by Elias and forced to sit in an ARC suit, something she doesn't even know how to control. As everyone escapes the Deeb and starts dodging and fighting the attacks, Atlas is still falling pretty badly, and it is only by the help of the others that she is still alive. She is told multiple times to use the neural link, but she refuses to comply and eventually uses fire thrusters without using the link and saves herself from a deadly solve. After waking up, she panics and skips through the introductions to get the suit to make her reach the rescue pod. The AI program is pretty stubborn to use his thoughts, but eventually listens to her even though it only has 22 hours of battery left. She takes manual briefs about the system from Smith, the program, and refuses to use neural links at any cost. She reaches the Ranger's drop point and is distraught at the death of all. After collecting tags, she notices Zoe and Elias missing, but Harlan's army reaches there, under a duplicate Casca, making her run for her life. After trying several attacks, Atlas decides to make use of the ion bomb against Smith's will. Casca's the only survivor, but before he can do anything, the ground breaks and the two of them fall into a sinkhole. Atlas breaks her leg at the impact, making the ARC suit give her medical aid. A painful one, though. Smith tells her that their best shot of survival is syncing their minds. Atlas eventually agrees to use the neural link, but only if he promises to not dig into her memories. Casca is still alive and reports to Harlan about the entire scenario. After this, Harlan uses his abilities to get something from Elias's mind, whom he had captured alive, unlike others. On the other hand, Smith tells Atlas that he cannot sync because she didn't comply with the emotional protocol earlier. They try to establish a connection in which Atlas eventually has to tell what Harlan is to her. The two start syncing and get out of the sinkhole after 60% of it. As they analyze and save a beautiful plant, which is named Planty by Atlas's stupid joke, Casca appears near them. However, the motion sensors and planting of thermal mines in the way help them blast Casca off. When they reach there, Atlas once again talks to Casca's head. She once again proves him wrong about not being able to kill him and uses the short-range transmitter in his head to tag down Harlan's base. Atlas wants to take Harlan down while Smith thinks keeping her alive should be the priority. Atlas gets emotional about all the dying soldiers, making Smith agree with her plan. Near the base, they realize Harlan plans to use the Deeb to enter the Earth back and use the carbon warheads to destroy the planet. Before they can come up with a solution, the bot tracks them down and hacks Smith's system to take them as hostages. Harlan meets Atlas that sending Casca was all his plan to get her to him. He tells her that he needs the second part of the code from her after taking the first half from Elias, and then he will destroy the population, damaging the Earth. The survivors will then live in a new system driven by AI bots. He takes the code from her brain after tying her next to Elias. He then leaves her to die since her oxygen collar is only going to provide her with 5 more minutes of oxygen. Elias, who is still alive, jokes a little and then gets serious after knowing Smith is around. He gives her his neural link after telling her that ARC suits only completely die after their reactors are either emptied or destroyed. She makes Smith wake up, but since they aren't fully synced, he cannot operate on his own. For that, she needs to release the last bit of memory that she refuses to share. That memory is the fact that she was the reason Harlan became a terrorist. As a 10-year-old, she felt jealous that Harlan had her mother's attention, so she decided to ask Harlan to make her smarter so her mother would like her better too. Harlan told her it was only possible if she allowed two-way control of the neural link, since by then, only humans had control over the bot's system over the neural link and not the other way around. Her permission made Harlan read her thoughts and memories and get to know how much the Earth was polluted and troubled by humans. This made him become a terrorist and hate humans. This is why Atlas is always guilty and feels scared of using neural links. Harlan made his mother kill herself after getting control of her body. Once this last secret is out, the syncing completes and Smith helps them out. She then uses the stuff around to make them her weapons as she attacks the bots after full control of Smith. The two of them keep fighting till Elias signals them to run so he can fire toward the stock of rocket fuel. The place blows up, leaving Atlas and Smith to fight the ones outside. Using a perfectly analyzed attack, they blow up the place once again, but this still isn't their victory, as Harlan is there against them now. Along with fighting Harlan, they need to stop the Deeb, which is now launching itself. She asks Smith to deactivate the carbon warhead through the 5 sophisticated firewalls so she can blow the Deeb without killing themselves. Smith starts doing so and doesn't believe he can deactivate in time, but Atlas shoots it, trusting Smith's skill. Her trust pays off, and the Earth is safe, leaving the two to take down Harlan now. Harlan plans to control Atlas to call for help and get back to Earth, which starts the fight between the two. Atlas keeps trying to dodge Harlan's fast and sharp attacks, but she needs to do something that Harlan wouldn't expect from her. Tracking his patterns, she gets a hold of him and cuts his arm off. However, he attracts the arm back soon enough and starts a series of attacks that harm Smith enough to knock her out. Her heart stops beating, so Smith focuses on bringing her back to life with defibrillation, rather than saving himself from Harlan. Harlan gets a hand on its reactor and is about to destroy it when Atlas wakes up and attacks Harlan. She kills Harlan, retaining his CPU so it isn't against the ICN's command. Smith's battery is low, so he decides to put all his remaining energy into creating an oxygen mask that will take Atlas to the rescue pod. Atlas is against it because for once she trusted somebody and developed an emotional connection. After an emotional goodbye, Smith powers off and Atlas is saved by the rescue team. Coming back home, Atlas receives the plant that Smith saved for her, and later gets an ARC suit developed with all the same properties as Smith.